When I was building my $2 million e-commerce business, I made a massive step. I spent over $30,000 on coaches, consultants, and agencies. In this video, I'm pulling back the curtain on the online gurus and consultants. I'll be sharing what worked, what didn't, and what I wish I knew before I spent any money. With that knowledge, you can shortcut your journey and make real progress faster. So let me show you the first big red flag that I wish someone warned me about. The internet is flooded with so-called SMMA agencies. It seems to be the go-to business model for all the spotty teenagers waiting just to make a quick buck online. SMMA stands for Social Media Marketing Agency. There's a lot of gurus teaching young, naive kids about this business model in their expensive online courses. No one really questions it because the guru is apparently successful. Just look at his Lambo or the view from his Dubai apartment. It reminds me of a book titled How to Sell a Book for $2,000. Priced at, you guessed it, $2,000. When you buy that book, you prove the author's point. He managed to sell a book for $2,000, but it doesn't mean you will. Anyway, I don't mean to smear the entire advertising agency industry. I just wanted to draw your attention to a large number of dodgy, get-rich-quick operators. These companies work this way. They spend a lot on ads to sign clients. The clients then stay for 1 to maybe 3 months, get poor results and leave. These clients typically spend between $1,000 to $3,000 a month and don't get much back for their money. What you have to remember is you, as an e-commerce customer, the marketing agency's cost is an addition to the ad spend. Even if they make you a good profit from advertising, most of that profit goes to the agency fees to begin with. It might make sense to work with them as you grow larger, like above $1 million in turnover, but for companies smaller than that, you'll give all your profits to these agencies. That's not to mention having to find a good, reputable agency to begin with. I know myself how hard it is to actually find a winning Facebook ad. In fact, I spent about £12,000 so far on various experiments and about £5,000 on agency fees, and I'm still yet to find a winning campaign for my supplement niche. Thankfully, the agency I was working with was reputable and they've refunded me that fee of $5,000. I'd be really angry otherwise. The ads we're running now on Facebook give me some return on advertising, but it's not even close to breaking even, so it's always been on the back burner. The takeaway here is that the product has to suit the advertising medium. Health supplements don't offer any immediate benefits you can show on that 30-second video, so you can't really show any pain being fixed immediately. For us, Google Ads work much better. They're easier to set up, meaning that we don't need an agency at all. If you're only just starting and you have no clue what you're doing, you might want to pay an agency to set up your ads and keep them running for maybe a month or two. But once the setup is done, you can continue maintaining it yourself very easily and save a lot of cash. So what's my conclusion on working with advertising agencies? Proceed with caution and don't sign any costly monthly retainers. I rate them 3 out of 10 in terms of return on investment. Next, I'm going to show you what it's like to work with some of these online gurus. I'll start off with an e-commerce coaching program I've gone through. It was a couple of years ago now, and I paid about £6,000. It was led by a couple of chaps called the Hammersley Bros. When I signed up for it, I didn't really know what I was doing with e-commerce. It was my first successful store, and I just knew somehow I had to get to the next level. We had sales of about $20,000 per month, and these guys were talking on the podcast about brands turning over millions and millions a year. So it was logical that they could help me out to get to the next level. They were also talking about ways they helped these customers grow even faster. So I jumped on a sales call with them and was quickly accepted to the program. The first month was spent mostly waiting for them to analyze my website, my offer, my marketing, positioning, and market opportunities they saw. Honestly, the 300-page report I got from them was worth the price on its own. The report had a list of about 100 items to fix and address. Some of them were a 5-minute job, some of them were a bit larger. Once the report was delivered, we started weekly one-to-one coaching calls with Ian, during which we talked about progress in going through the to-do list and what to do next. We ran a number of split tests to check various elements against each other and talked shop for hours. It was a really valuable program. For me, the biggest takeaway was the actual validation of my business model. Is it even a good business? Is it worth doing? What's the potential here? I had no clue. While going through the program, I was never promised riches. I was simply told how I can maximize the opportunity I was already in and shown clear steps on what to do to move the needle. I implemented front-end, back-end, and business model changes based on the program and still use the tools on a daily basis today. In fact, it works so well, I can now teach it to others. And that is why I started the e-commerce clinic. If you think I can help you build up your business, just book a call with me using the link in the description below. The biggest takeaway from this experience is yes, it does take money to make money. If you can pay someone to speed you up by months or even years, it will pay for itself many times over. It's actually one of the biggest business unlocks to help you get to the next level faster. Using someone else's experience and opinion of your own business is invaluable. Imagine you're learning to play golf. Working on your swing is much easier if you have a coach standing next to you and giving you cues how to improve your technique, because you can't really see what you're doing on your own. It's certainly possible to build a decent business on your own or improve your golfing technique, but working with someone who knows what good looks like will be amazing. It will lower your stress, it will eliminate the shiny object syndrome, it will give you clarity on what steps to take next, and it will give you confidence in your plan and eliminate guesswork. It will stop you wasting time on things which just don't work. In fact, the e-commerce coaching changed my life so much that I want to offer it to you. I used to have a 9-to-5 job, but now I'm working full-time in my own business. But when I say full-time, I actually mean like 5 hours a week. If that sounds very interesting to you, get in touch and let's start working together. I give business coaching 10 out of 10 in terms of return on investment. I think I made at least 10 times over what I paid for that program in just 1 year. The next one is a bit out of left field, not really related to e-commerce. In February this year, I signed up to Ed Lawrence's YouTube growth system. The price there was $9,000. I was really grateful that I was even accepted to it, given that I've only started my YouTube channel. I learned a lot about planning, ideation, thumbnail design, channel strategy, and general YouTube hacks. Again, I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I signed up, so I needed a lot of attention and assistance. I was hoping this would be similar to the e-commerce program I've gone through before, but that wasn't really the case. I was really missing the one-to-one element. I didn't really know what to even expect in terms of growing the channel or the audience. How long would it take? Does it even work for the e-commerce niche? Am I any good? I got some answers to some of these questions later, but the course structure didn't really work for me in that way, and we decided to part ways. I also had a very stressful time at work during that course, and it was just all getting a bit too much. I still follow the system today, and I'm really grateful to Ed for showing me what's possible on YouTube and the mistakes to avoid. If I was to rate this program in terms of return on investment, it would depend on your current stage. If you already have a decent YouTube following, this program will make you lots of money really quickly. However, if you're only just starting, you might not even break even in the first year. Think of these coaching programs as snakes and ladders game. These programs are indeed the ladders that will take you to the next level, or at least show you the way to the next level. However, there are many more levels still to go on your own. Paying for such a course shows your commitment and unlocks the commitment and consistency bias in your head. Once you pay and get in, you will work hard, as you don't want to waste the money you've already spent. Even though a lot of this information is available for free, when you pay attention. And when you pay attention and do the work, success will inevitably follow. These courses will show you what to do, and more importantly, what not to do. Your biggest challenge will be not to give up. Don't say stupid things like cold outreach doesn't work, or YouTube doesn't work, or e-commerce doesn't work. It absolutely does. But don't expect success to come quickly or easily, even when working with an experienced coach. You still have to put in the work. The coach is there to show you the next steps, but they can't take these steps for you. You still have to put in the work. However, even if it takes you a few years of hard work to get where you want to be, imagine the alternative. These years will pass anyway, and it's up to you if you want to achieve your goals or not. You'll be a few years older anyway, but would you rather be stuck in the same place or be successful? Finally, I'll give you what I learned from all these things together, the real secret. That secret is that there's no secret. It's all down to repetition, improvement, doing more of what works and less of what doesn't. But coaching can absolutely speed up your progress. Absolutely buy it when you can afford to. Well, you can learn for free, but that means your time isn't really worth anything. And remember, if you make 50k a year and you want to make $1 million, it costs you 950k a year not to know how to make that million. And you pay that price every single year. Compared to that, coaching is cheap, cheap, cheap. If you're feeling excited about the e-commerce opportunity, I'd love to work with you and help you get to the next level. Book a call with me using the link in the description below. Until the next time.